Hey everybody, this is Andrew from T is for Tech, and today I'm going to be taking a look at this gaming mouse from AUKEY. This is their AUKEY Scarab gaming mouse, and I believe this is a new product. And I do want to thank AUKEY for sending this over to the channel for quick unboxing and review. I do appreciate that. So we're going to take a look at this real quick, and this will be kind of a two-part review in that I'm going to do the unboxing here. We'll take a look at the mouse, check out some of its features, look at it from a feel perspective and all of that, and then I will hook this up to the computer and play with it over the course of the next few days and probably longer, and then I'll report back on the tail end of this video with some of my thoughts on how it actually performs. But first of all, we're definitely going to take a look at this. So it comes in a nice little black box here. It's kind of cool logo looking thing there. And it is pretty lightweight, and that's one thing I did read about this, is this is a super lightweight mouse. And it doesn't run that much. I believe this does come in at under $20, which for a gaming mouse is pretty good. So this is the model, it's the GM-F3. Again, they're calling it the Scarab. So as you would expect, you get a little manual here. So this is a 6-button mouse. It's a USB 2 interface. The max resolution on the optical sensor is 7200 dpi, and this works with obviously all versions of Windows and also Mac OS. So looking at the mouse itself, it actually looks pretty cool, and it is lightweight. We'll do a quick test here, see how much it weighs. We're looking at about 3.6 ounces. So the mouse and the cord and the connector and everything only weighs 3.6 ounces, which is pretty light. It comes with a really nice braided cable. So you get a black braided cable. Obviously you got your USB connector here on the end. Got a fairly nice scroll wheel. Can't tell if that's metal. I can't tell if this is metal or plastic. It feels metal. I'll have to double check on that. It feels like it might be like a aluminum metal outer piece on a plastic center wheel. Not sure, I'll have to double check. But the rest of the mouse is plastic. These pieces are plastic here. So you've got your DPI adjustment here, so you can cycle through the DPI settings. Obviously you got your primary mouse buttons, and then you also have 2 buttons on the side here. So that could be whatever, forward, backward. You can probably configure them to be whatever you want. Yeah, so basically center push, center button, on the scroll you can push. So typical setup for most mice out there. Here you have opaque logo, which I'm assuming will light up RGB or light up in colors. Same thing on the sides. Yeah, so pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set this up, connect it to my computer. I'll do a little test, little gaming, etc. And then I will come back on the tail end of this video, like I mentioned, with my thoughts on the performance and all of that. And I'll probably record just a quick video with a different camera on the RGB lighting. So let's hop over to the computer and continue the review.
So if you go over to the AUKEY website, you can download this AUKEY mouse configuration software, and it's specifically for the Scarab mouse, as you can see. So you just download that, you run it, and then you can make some configurations and load and save profiles. So as you might expect, right, you can program all of the different buttons on the actual mouse itself, right? So like today, right now, as a default, right, you can see that the button 1 here is the left click, right click, middle click, and then forward, backward, and then you can loop through the DPI settings. So you can change this basically to anything. So you can change the different mouse button. You can do different advanced functions. You can set up for multimedia, web, windows and key combinations and macros. So you can actually even configure a macro here as well and tie that to a button. So that obviously a common scenario for gaming where you want to kind of set up some macros and tie those to some of the side buttons or whatever. So you can do that all within here, and then you can save that as a profile and load the profile. So if you have a specific setup for a game that you want, you can save that and then load it before you go play your game, etc. Right? So you have a little bit of ability to manage that. And then you also have some different modes related to setting up custom firing, the mouse speed, the double click speed, scroll speeds, etc. What is the reporting rate on the mouse? So how fast does it refresh its position? So you can, the maximum is 1,000 hertz. The lowest is at 125 hertz, and then you can set the DPI values for the various modes, right? So you can basically have 6 modes, and then you can vary the DPIs, and then you can also associate a color with that DPI mode. So in the RGB settings, there's a selection to say show the mouse color of the the current DPI setting. So that's one of the options there. So it's kind of interesting. So you can configure all that, and then the RGB settings, there's an effect speed, and then you can set the effect, right? So like I said, the DPI profile. So as you change the DPI profile with the little button on the mouse, it changes the RGB colors. You can do rainbow, you can cycle through colors, something called laser pulse, color waltz, and then the medley just kind of cycles through all of it, and then you can actually then turn it off as well. So I have played around with those, and I'll show you at the end of this video a little bit of the cycling through the colors so you can see what the mouse looks like when it's lit up and cycling through the RGBs. And then you can do macros, right? So you can set up all kinds of macros. I don't know, you can add delays, no delay, recording, all that stuff. So very, very similar to software by Razer or by Logitech or whatever for recording macros on the for your mouse. So that's basically all that you get in this software. Again, it's a free download from the AUKEY website and allows you to kind of set all this stuff up. The one thing I would just say is I did use this in a few gaming scenarios. I played Call of Duty Warzone, and I also played Fortnite. And it worked really well. After you get your speeds and your DPI settings dialed in, the mouse itself is super lightweight, and it's very responsive. The only one thing I would say, as compared to what I normally am using, which is a Razer Basilisk mouse, is that the button action on the primary left and right clicks is a little harder than I'm used to, right? So because the Basilisk has very light tap, you can just very, very lightly press it and actuate the switch. This is a little bit more resistance, so you do have to press a little bit harder, but that might loosen up over time as well as you use the mouse. Beyond that, from a responsiveness perspective, the way it looks, all of that, it's really good, especially for the price point. Like I said, I'll link to this in the description of the video, but last time I checked, it was like under $20 on Amazon, which is pretty good for a decent gaming mouse from a name brand, right? It's not a no-name, crazy name Chinese thing. AUKEY does make good products. So that's all I have for this video. I just wanted to kind of go over the software settings here, a little bit of my thoughts. I do really think it's a good value for the money, and I'll finish up the review here at the end with a little bit of video of the mouse kind of transitioning through some colors that I shot on my phone. If you have any questions, go ahead and post those below. This is Andrew from TS for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.